Hey guys, it's Mika from Mika Makes Art, and today I'll be going over most artists, or at least the ones I've talked to nightmare, which is drawing hands. So I'm going to go over how I draw hands, or how you probably shouldn't draw hands, and maybe some tips and advice I have for drawing hands. So anyway, as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. It would be very much appreciated. I always post 2 times a week on Friday and Sunday, and sometimes I post more than that. So stay tuned, and let's get drawing. So to start out, I thought I'd go for some more of the cartoony hands, well, in this case, gloves. And I thought to start, if you know SpongeBob SquarePants, you will recognize that this is the mascot from Glove World. And as I started to work through this, I realized he kind of looks like that toaster strudel, or like the pastry guy. I mean, look at the dude. He looks like he's about to go on your TV, sell you some biscuits, and if you press his stomach, he goes, woohoo! Right? So I decided to draw one more of the cartoon hands, or in this case gloves. This time I decided to take a page out of Disney book and draw Mickey Mouse's glove because, it's just recognizable. And just look at this. I mean, oh boy, I think this is pretty okay drawing. Oh boy, indeed, because now it's time to start the realistic drawings, and yeah. So for the first one I was trying to go for this whole thumbs up look, aka this picture. Okay, so I know this is a whole how not to draw hands, and one thing I did, but you can't tell in this photo, is I took a picture of my right hand, and I'm right-handed, so it's kind of hard to look at my right hand and draw it. So I flipped the photo on here for it to match, but I didn't realize I could do that at the time of drawing this. So I was looking at my left hand as I was trying to draw my right hand, and that, along with the reason that I generally just can't draw hands, is why this hand looks a little weird. Also, not to mention, but that thumb literally looks like a giant sausage. I know what I was trying to go for, but literally, whether it be hands or anything I'm drawing, proportions are just not my friend. At all. So something you should definitely not do before just going in to draw something is your research. If you're bad at proportions like me, maybe practice proportions. I don't do that often, and that's honestly why I started this series. I'm going to try to draw more of the things I don't know how to draw. And as you see me doing right now, I'm going to another thing I'm not very good at, and I need to practice shading. I know some things about shading, but I definitely know I could do a lot better job. And like I said, practice. Don't just go in and start drawing stuff like I'm doing. When the hand itself was done, I decided that it deserved one kind of disappointing monkey out of 6. Even a little tear, but you know what? It's okay. Ah yes, it's time for another one of the hand drawings. This time I went for this image. Now, you might ask yourself, Nico, why are you holding a paintbrush on a kitchen counter? Well, you see, I couldn't find another paintbrush at the time, and I needed the picture for the reference. I didn't really feel like grabbing a little paintbrush or a pencil, so I used what I have. Very good advice. Now, maybe, by some miracle, there might be some people out there who are like, what are you saying? Title says this is how not to draw hands, but these are looking pretty okay. Well, listen, maybe they are okay, but I don't think they are, and I could get a lot better, and I need to practice. So, yeah, I definitely make a lot of mistakes, and there's a lot of things I can improve on. Are they necessarily the worst? You know what, to some people maybe. To me, they're just, I don't know. I just know I could do better. And like I said, what I recommend is practice. I honestly don't practice as much as I should, but I know it's cheesy, and people are like, oh, practice makes perfect, and you might be like, yeah, I've heard that a million times, but honestly, it does. Well, actually, fun little life tip here. I actually got this advice from my soccer coach. Practice doesn't make perfect, practice makes permanent. If you practice, you're not necessarily going to get to the point where you're perfect at doing something, but if you practice, you're going to get to the point where you're doing something at a relatively good scale, constantly, over and over again, permanently. I am also going to be completely honest with you. I ran out of things to say about this hand, so I'm just going to let the jivey copyright music play and wait till the next drawing. Bye for now, I guess. Well, it's not necessarily the next drawing, but I have to draw my little monkey rating, which I think is a meh monkey out of meh monkeys. Ah, yes, it's time getting into the final, I guess, single hand drawing of this thing. Anyway, I'm going for this picture. The classic little peace sign. Now, when I first saw this drawing and I thought I was going to do it, I was concerned about, like, the two fingers which are doing the peace sign. And you know what I learned as I went through this drawing? That was a very good concern, because as you see, the peace signs, like, I tried them for the first time, then I erased them, and in the end, it kind of just looks like sticks coming out of a maybe hand. Now, maybe you're asking yourself at this point, Mika, do you have any advice for drawing hands? And honestly, not really. Well, actually, yeah, I do. Like I said, the practice from the previous one, and also from the previous one, proportions are a big thing, and shading. Shading can make or break a drawing. It can make a drawing either look very good, or if you're doing it wrong, it can look like a really bad. Like, there are some parts of these drawings, or maybe the whole drawing, I mean, I don't think they're necessarily good shading, but there's some parts, and it's just, why? Why did you do that? Why did you think that part should be darker to, yeah. Practice, proportions, what was the other one? Oh, and shading. Shading. Very important. Once again, I'm going to take a little break from talking and come back when I draw my little monkey sign of disapproval. Hey, look, this time I'm drawing a bunny, because, like, the peace sign kind of looks like bunny ears. Anyway, I think the little two fingers kind of look weird. So this bunny's also kind of sad. But he has a bow tie, so he has that going for him. And now I'm doing one more thing. This time, instead of a single hand, I'm going to try to draw like a little person of me carrying something, because as you see from the pictures around me, I don't have the best record of, like, drawing my hands holding things when it's, like, connected to a body. Also, I tend to not draw faces because I'm just really bad at drawing eyes, which is a whole nother video. So since this is videos about hands, no face. But anyway, look at that. Look at, oh my gosh, what is that? It looks like alien fingers.